Welcome to Bullet Journaling for multi-hyphenate entrepreneurs and content creators. Today we're setting up a new month, August. I can't believe it's August already. Where did the year go? And I'm going to be using this sticker book from Smiles on Risa on Etsy. If you haven't noticed, I have a bit of a Etsy problem where I fall in love with bullet journal things on Etsy, and then I plan my entire spread around it, and I'm like really excited when they come in the mailbox. And I have to say I'm fully addicted to these sticker books, so expect to see them more on this channel. I was feeling the butterfly vibe because I feel like August is like prime time season for seeing butterflies migrating and flying around and making your yard just whimsical and magical. This is the large peony sticker. It's just to create an easy Dutch door for those who are artistically challenged like me. Like if you wanted me to draw my own peony Dutch door, it's not gonna happen, my friends. So that's why Etsy exists. Also, if you hear snoring in the background, my husband and I are fostering a 12-and-a-half-year-old pit bull mix named Chocolate. She is the gentlest old lady. She is currently sleeping right behind me. Now just trimming around the peony to give it that peekaboo Dutch door vibe. It didn't turn out exactly as I had pictured, but I am happy with it. When I tell you that I literally cried when this stamp thing showed up at my door, I'm not joking. It's so cute, and I felt like it really added to the vintage vibes. And I just want to note, hey, if things bring you joy, then do that. You know, that's one reason why bullet journaling has become a real hobby for me. When you work for yourself, when you have a lot of creative projects going on, or you're relying on an inconsistent stream of income to pay the rent, like from clients or AdSense or whatever it is that you are striving for. I love being able to infuse joy into the planning process. Even for people like me who are obsessed with planners and planning, it can be stressful because being a creator is hard. If a stamp set and black ink can make me a little bit joyful every day, then I say it's worth it. Getting into August at a glance, I always do 5 grid spaces by 5 grid spaces. I just find that's enough room for me to write all of the events happening in August and give me a good overview of the entire month. To fill this in, I'm using a Micron 03. I have a 01 and a 05, and I love both of those, but I think the 3 is perfect for this kind of thing. So I wanted to give you a little inspiration as you watch this video. If you're a content creator, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are freelancing, if you're doing it yourself, you don't have a boss to tell you what to do and how to do it. I find that sounds great, but it can be way more difficult in practice when it's the day-to-day, waking up, getting your schedule, being motivated. So I just recently watched this video by Michelle B that totally inspired me. It's called How to Be Chronically Unhappy. I will link it in a card and I'll link it in the description down below. But the gist of it was basically a list that was all of the things that you can do to make yourself just totally unhappy. An example is have no sleep hygiene. She says when an anxious thought hits you at 10 p.m., stew on it until 3 a.m. Another example was don't limit social media use. Rely on that dopamine to get you through the day. On this next page is my mood tracker and my habit tracker. So the habits that I'm tracking this time around are going to the gym. My husband and I just got a gym membership and we're loving it, and we haven't had one since pre-pandemic, so I want to go 3 times a week with him. And then walking, just because walking is very good for my soul. And you might think, oh, are you going to take Chocolate for a walk? No, she can't really walk very well, so we have to carry her everywhere. But she walks around in our apartment a little bit. She kind of waddles. I can't have this video without talking about Chocolate. In fact, I'm probably going to insert a picture of her right here because she's that cute. The other two habits I'm tracking is meal prepping and writing in my journal. So the mood tracker that I'm working on, you'll notice I have boxes down below. I ended up deciding that I hated that and I wanted to cover it up. So I went ahead and used some scrap paper that I have, this cute little phrase that says, "Sometimes I think, sometimes I am." If you are consistently making content of any sort, whether that be blog, Instagram, TikToks, YouTube videos, I highly recommend putting a Kanban board into your bullet journal. If you haven't heard of Kanban board, it's basically a tool for workflow visualization. It's great for visual learners like me. I have a Trello board online that I use for my YouTube content, but I find it really helpful to bring the month's videos into this like tangible space. One perk of using a Kanban board is it limits work in progress. So if there's a blog post that is taking forever for you to write and it's just constantly in your like pre-production area, this will motivate you to get things out of the work in progress mode. Now we're on to the weekly spread for the first week of August. I put a week at a glance section on the far left-hand corner so I can kind of get an overview. I didn't do that for July and I really missed it. And I went ahead and did this little peekaboo window so that I can have access to my rolling weekly, whether I'm on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's always right there on the right of the tasks that I need to be doing. Okay, my creative friends, let's do a little flip through of August. Got our butterfly vintage peony theme, month at a glance. Habit tracker and mood tracker. I find the mood tracker to be the most helpful thing with looking at my PMDD symptoms and my depression and anxiety. This section is for the Kanban board, and I'm giving you an example of how I use it. So say I have a blog post, I'll put it in the planning section, and then every time I do something to move it forward, you move it down the Kanban board. And when you're done, you just get rid of that post-it. It's very satisfying. I also have a brain dump section. It's helpful for my mind. Finally, the first week of August, we've got a week at a glance, rolling weekly, and good long juicy spaces to write everything in. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a restful, beautiful week ahead of you.
Picnic with my best friend.